I've analyzed countless funnels and I've studied business for more than 3,000 hours.
Yeah, and I've been reading a lot on human behavioral patterns, especially in marketing.
Okay, and by the end of this video, you will learn everything that we know about trustworthiness and its effect on funnels. So, what is the definition of trustworthiness?
Well, sometimes it's hard to give a clear definition, but in general terms, I would say it's about how a potential consumer perceive a given site, especially on the web. It can be very both interesting and clear to see that its relevance are gigantic. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, if people don't trust a website on Google, they think they get a virus maybe or something.
Yeah, I
related
would.
to that.
Don't you think also? So Alex Hormozi wrote this book called $100 Million Offers, and in that book
Yeah.
he talks about the value equation. So what actually is value? He says value is the dream outcome times the risk divided by the time times the effort and sacrifice. And I think trustworthiness heavily relies on the risk. What is my perceived outcome? What is the chance of me achieving my outcome if I listen to the advice of what this guy is saying? So I think it's about the chance of the perceived chance of achieving your goal based off what that guy you're listening to is saying. And then depending on what the likelihood of you achieving that goal is the direct correlative to the what's it called, trustworthiness of that person. So for example, if we have someone who is really good at the piano, if he's really good and we know that he's really good at the piano, then he is trustworthy. Why is he trustworthy? Because if he gives us advice about playing the piano, then we trust him. That way he's trustworthy.
Yeah, but I think that's in very general terms, and all right, that's all right. I mean, but you could break that up into many, sometimes even psychological.
Yeah, that might just be
relations.
the conscious part of it, but then there's a bunch
Yeah.
of subconscious.
Yeah, like, of course, if someone says they play the piano, we have we usually trust them, right? But if you hear them play the piano, then it's much more likely that they're good at playing the piano, right?
Yeah, so then we get another sense.
Yeah. So there's a lot of patterns in how and why we trust people, and it can be very wise to study them when you have to deal with consumers, because
So based off what you've been studying
Yeah.
in terms of human behavior and the psychology behind it, what do you find to be the reason that people trust someone?
well, it always varies and depends on the situation. But when you communicate in clear, understandable language, you have the right breaks and a great flow in your communication. It helps a lot, right? And if you have the lighting, the scenario, you always, when you talk to people, you always see them in contrast to the background and surroundings they're in, right? And so if I were here talking about money, but at a laundry, it wouldn't make any sense, and it will disrupt the entire
Frame.
Yeah, you could call that like the overall message you give, and you have to be very clear, and all the things you use to give your message, it's all these small things, and sometimes they don't matter, but they build up, right? So if just like in the background here, you can see we don't have a whole lot of things that's for people to intend and focus on our faces, right? And I guess most viewers wouldn't care or even see that we don't have a lot in the background, but subpsychological, it really matters, right? If we had like a giant picture or something that
Teddy bear
wasn't
or
related
something.
at all,
Yeah.
it'd just be weird, right? And we don't often think about it, but there's a lot of examples And you also have a lot of that on your page already of people who don't act and display things according to the person they are trying to be able to sell kind of stuff and be trustworthy. And even though you're 100% yourself, you can't show your entire self. You have to show the things of yourself that align with the message you're giving.
So it's about being perceived as trustworthiness, and it's not about being trustworthy. It's about being perceived as trustworthiness, and then
especially on the internet, right?
And then back to my definition of trustworthiness with the risk of taking advice from this person. The chance of me taking advice from this person and being successful, that is directly correlative to the trustworthiness. And then it's just the perceivement of that. Okay. So should we say that's the definition covered?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, let's do that.
We could probably go on, but what are the consequences of bad trustworthiness?
Well, I think, can we start with good trustworthiness? I think it's, you see good trustworthiness all over the social platforms, right? It's like every popular YouTube channel or Instagram account or anything, you name it, you find your number one most popular channel, and you'll see how everything they do is aligned with the goal. It can, sometimes they're silly, right? Because YouTube is entertainment, and of course you have to do that, and you always also have, these guys are very good at taking the customers and the people they are aligning their entertainment towards in relation to the entertainment they do, and that's why you don't see all kinds of weird stuff on big channels and platforms and pages that direct people to.
Do you know of an example of this?
Well,
Brian Johnson, maybe.
Yeah, all right. We can take Brian Johnson, right? He's like this big American entrepreneur, very big in health. He had a big company before that, Braintree. He sold for like $800
million or something.
Yeah, but a whole lot. But he is. If you go to his channel, right, you see his house, how everything he do is aligned with the goal and the message he's giving. It's very clear.
He's 100% committed towards just living forever.
Yeah.
And he has also gotten trust. He's also achieved something, so he has to prove behind being actually, like, he has actually achieved something. He has gotten the best biomarkers at some things, and that way, again, back to what I said, with if I take advice from him, my perceived likelihood of getting what I believe I would get from his advice is high.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
therefore his trustworthiness is high.
You don't see Brian Johnson showing bad readings or bad data displaying that he might not be as fit or as healthy as he intends you.
Doesn't he?
No, not at all.
Well, so he only shows the transformation of where he was to where he...
Yeah, welcome to the internet. That's... if you're not aligned in your communication, you just don't get big and popular on the internet. That's how we like, as humans, we like the media we're watching to be as simple and as with as low friction as possible, right? You see a lot of videos where they go around in his house, right? And but you don't see anything that's like
going against his mission.
Yeah, going against his mission, and just in general, the colors are very streamlined. If you notice, his interior is very subtle, so that you notice he's going around in a house, but you don't really recognize the house as much as the focus is on Brian Johnson. So, my guess is it's very purposeful. It could be also just random, right? But
I think most people they are intending, everything has an intent, and I think a lot of people are thinking about it, but then I think for the people who still are trustworthy, it's just because they live the life. And because they live the life, then they become trustworthy, and then they don't need the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were sat in the living room watching some of my videos,
Yeah,
and then we
yeah.
spoke about some of the videos and how I could become more trustworthy. And that's why we kind of started this topic, and it's really interesting because you said when we spoke on the phone that there is very little trust on the internet, and without trust, nothing really happens. If we don't trust what we watch, we
no money is getting spent.
Yeah, we won't spend money. We won't like keep watching. We won't pay with our attention. We won't engage. We won't share. We won't do anything. So trust is like necessary. I wouldn't want to call it the cornerstone or the fundament or the like fundamental part, but it's like extremely important.
Yeah, it's crucial, right? Like with your channel, you're reviewing other people's funnel from consumers to money spent, right?
Or business to business.
Yeah, or business to business. But you also yourself are selling a product, right?
Yeah, right now I'm just trying to get testimonials.
Yeah.
And if you want me to take a look at your funnel for free, you can click on the link in the description or go to ilovefunnels.co. I will take a look at your funnel for free. And if I spot some things that should be changed, then I will also fix that for free. So click on the link in the description or go to ilovefunnels.co.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Slick CTA.
But if we look at it, you also want to
eventually monetize,
get people to allow you to review their funnels, right?
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you have to review funnels and align all the so that getting people to you is the path of less friction.
Yeah, if I was a basketball player and I just posted a bunch of basketball videos, I might become trustworthy within basketball, but I'm not trustworthy in terms of reviewing your funnel. So it's not just about getting the traffic. It's maybe about showing and having the intent of being perceived as the right person. Because I know there's like also degenerates and stuff where they are being perceived by each other in a specific way, and then their status by being more and more degenerate, but from the perspective of someone like us or someone different, then that has the opposite effect. So it might also be like subject independent or like it might just have to do with the specific subject.
Yeah, and what you say that's very crucial, of course. And I think in general you can divide trustworthiness into two categories. You have niche trustworthiness, and you have general human trustworthiness.
Yeah.
There's the difference between trusting a person based on the logical things, right? Because if this guy has $10 million and he's earned them on something, you probably think, all right, there's a lot of money in that. But if this might be a little sad to some, but the subtle things like whether or not the guy has a low frequent voice and he has the right breaks and he looks in the camera the right way, and all these things, they build up, and we don't think about it, but that makes us trust a guy better, right?
Yeah, that actually brings us straight to the next point. So how do we improve the trustworthiness of oneself? We could maybe take this setup as an example because we had a quite rough starting point, and this was the best that we could create based off the situation that we were in. So how do we improve trustworthiness?
Well, in general, I would say don't confuse
within business.
Within business,
that might be kind of similar to just in general, but
but it's a little more niche, right? And
I would say more.
In general, all the media. This could be videos, tags, websites, everything. It has to be very streamlined, and you have to show things only related. You can take hold in the intellectual things, right? Being like, if you have already done something, or you're very good at your
craft.
yeah. And you have an education or degree in something, you always you of course say this, right? Because it makes sense. But there's also a lot of these subtle things like the colors you choose. We humans are naturally drawn to very bright and very strong colors, right? Like
what if the background was pink?
well, that'd be a strong color, right? But it wouldn't align with our purpose. It would just be friction or messy.
Distracting, maybe.
Yeah, distracting. Yeah, exactly. So I'd say in general, try and keep your colors either red or blue, green,
or maybe have the stronger or appealing colors at what you want the viewers to focus on, because the if we had a pink background, it might be interesting, but then it would draw attention to the background.
Yeah,
and we wouldn't want that.
That's right.
But if we had a pink shirt on, it would draw attention to us, but not in the way that we would want, because then people would just look at our shirt instead of looking at us. So we should paint our face pink. That's the solution.
No, because then you wouldn't be trustworthy, right? You'd have attention, but you wouldn't be trustworthy. It wouldn't align with the purpose of using here. And one thing you can notice is this setup we have right here. It's we have a lot of light on our faces directly, and we have a little bit darker table, microphone, glasses, all very neutral. And this way, people tend to look more at their faces. And in general, if you want the subtle things in trustworthiness, you can take hold in a lot of biology. And you have
What does that mean? What does it mean, taking a hold in biology?
Well, you have to think about the human brain, right? It were made maybe 200,000 years ago. We haven't developed since then, and it was made for a different society where we were maybe 20, 30 people in a tribe living on the African savannah, and we had only a few people who were very good at their skills, right? If a male was very big, strong, had a deep voice, intending all signs of very high testosterone and efficient energy, like he is good at getting food, he's maybe the best hunter, he has high status. This makes us as people follow this person and trust and want to know more about this person instantly and psychological, and it's you have to think about all these things, and it's hard to give in general advice, because I think we have to work with what we got. It's
very independent on this specific situation. For example, if someone gave us advice on how we could become trustworthy in a video, it would most likely not be relevant in any way to the situation we had, because put the camera like this and then set the lighting. Oh, we don't have that. We don't have the lighting. We don't have that. We don't have this. So we have to, like, behind the camera, there's like stuff hanging from the roofs. It's like a weird shit to another. But the muffle sounds.
It's a lot of stuff that muffle sounds, and I specifically said we should have this because it's one less distraction, right? If we had a room where our voices would just be thrown back and forth, right? It doesn't work, because people would unintentionally focus on our voices not being clear, and then they would think, oh, we don't know what we're doing, and therefore quit and don't see us as trustworthy.
So the key part of trustworthiness might be that most of us are focusing, me included, are focusing on the conscious parts of the trustworthiness. Who are you? What's your proof? What can you do? What have you done?
And that's a great start, but you need to have the subconscious.
Yeah, because I think that's actually the most important. I'm pretty sure that only 10% of the calories spent by the brain is like from conscious thinking, and then like 90% is subconscious. So the biggest horsepower that you have is from the subconscious and not the conscious.
Yeah, and there's a reason why in movies, right? To for a movie to be trustworthy, you don't have all male actors. They have a very defined jawline. I don't know if you have noticed that, but we don't want to watch a movie with a male actor who doesn't have a strong jawline, especially if he's the guy we should trust, and the hero. And it's maybe a little sad to hear, but that's just facts, right? And the same way you can see in Hollywood, all the guys and women and everyone is very skinny, unless it's intentional for them not to be, and that's also sad. But it's just it gives us less friction as consumers, and therefore we trust them more. And it's a little sad maybe, but it's the way it is.
Life is life.
Yeah. We are all just basically animals with a little more developed brain, but still a subconscious, working mostly in subconscious feelings and attraction that we don't know about, and very similar to the way animals behave, right? You have chimpanzees playing with fruit in some studies just to look at the more popular members of the tribe, and it's the same with humans. We have to think about stuff.
Okay, so to loop around, if you are someone, for example, with lower perceived trustworthiness, or trustworthiness is just the perceivement it's just the perceivement. How do someone then show more trustworthiness? How can they become more? How can they be perceived as more trustworthy?
All right, yeah. Simple things to do, right, is first of all, take hold in the media in which you are presenting yourself. If it's a website, it has to be clear. You have to have a clear goal with the website, right? You can't have all kind of shit. Just imagine if you had a website,
what's the focus?
And you had something just up in the right corner, and then in the middle of the screen to the right. So it would be like up here and then here, and then just empty it. In general, you could just look at pages that work, and you can see what they're doing. They are all very similar. They have
just copy that shit.
Yeah, copy things that work, right? Because of course you can study all the things, but oftentimes you don't need to. If it's a YouTube video, it's very intentional how they have made the sound, the cutting, the entire frame, the scenery, people being in relation to the background, right? It's it could also be on Instagram, right? You have people with very high quality cameras. Well, that doesn't really seem as trustworthy, does it?
Am I not more trustworthy?
No. Well, it could be, but I think people in general would perceive this funny, and that just doesn't align with the video we're making, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually a great example. So
it aligns with my personality, though.
Yeah, it aligns with the personality.
And maybe that can then make me perceived as more trustworthy because I don't fear showing me. Like I don't fear showing my personality, and then because people see that I can show me, then maybe what I'm saying is also true. Anyway, I think.
Yeah, sometimes it really depends on the situation, right?
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, always depends on the situation. You have to think about how you want to be perceived in relation to the media you're presenting yourself in, and the message you want to give. I can say.
Any last words?
No, I think we're quite well around both intentions and relation, and
So we need you to do something now.
Oh,
We need you to click subscribe below this video.
That's right.
And then we need you to click on the link in the description. And then we need you to give me your funnel link.
Yeah.
With that, I will review it for free. I will tell you what's wrong with it. And then I will also maybe show you what you should make different. All for free.
Yeah.
So do that, click subscribe, and then click on the link in the description and then do that. And then you should have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
And when he hits my fist, then the video ends. So have a good one.
I won't do it before I have subscribed. So that could be quite a long time. But all right.